Hi, everyone, and welcome to my channel. I am Coach Sherri, and this is Real Talk with Coach Sherri. This is part of my podcast series. However, I am doing the Going Live Every Day for 90 Days challenge, and I am on day 57. I have gone live every day for 57 days, and I find that to be a huge accomplishment. Today is Motivation Monday, and Monday Motivate. And I wanted to talk about motivation. And, when I think about going live every day for 57 days, I had to be pretty motivated to do that. And, it takes a lot to motivate yourself to not only start something, but to complete it. It's easy to start things, so easy, but so many people start and stop. And my goal with this challenge is to start and complete. So, this topic is going to be about motivate beyond procrastination. And I'm sure that so many areas of your life or times you can think back on, there have been moments when you were procrastinating and you may have missed deadlines. You may have missed great opportunities because of your procrastination, or you may have finished but it wasn't to the quality that you knew you could have done that particular thing because you procrastinated, waited to the last minute, and just had to throw something together. So I want this series or this particular podcast to take you beyond the procrastination and motivate you. And I see Slasher Chick is in the building. Hello, Slasher Chick. Your live was really good. I caught the replay. You are doing a phenomenal job with this challenge as well. And I appreciate you for being here. Hi, Big Boy Snacks, Johnny TV. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for stopping by and joining in this live as well. Um, well, that let me see, boondocking with Boomer. Let's see, I'm not going to drop the link for this particular topic, but in the future, I've dropped the link a couple of times, but not for this particular topic. Thank you for wanting to come up and rap for a little bit. I'm glad you're doing well. I'm sorry, I'm not going to drop the link, but thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Yes, you are welcome, Slasher Chick. So when I think about, what we're doing with going live every day in this challenge, it would be so easy to procrastinate. And I want to say, low key, I have had some moments of procrastination because other things in life are going on, and you know, um, you just have don't have a lot of time to put together content of value. And it's not to say that you have to have a specific topic for each of your lives or anything like that, but that's just the way that I like to do it. I like to have lives with purpose. However, I do have some where it's just a free flow and it's just conversation, so that works out as well. But I really want people that are tuning in to walk away with some valuable nuggets that they can take away with them. And that's why I always say, definitely have your pen and paper ready to write down the nuggets that I will be sharing. I see Dr. Fish is in the building. Thank you for being here. Hope you are doing well this evening too. And I see Boondocking is saying that they want to really meet me. Well, I have a ton of videos. You can look at my pre records, my shorts, I have lives. Listen, I have 57 just in this challenge alone. But I do have a lot of content that you can get to know me. You don't have to come up to the panel. I do appreciate you wanting to. However, I do have a lot of content. I have been on YouTube for quite a while. I have been creating content for about 4 years, but I am going into my sweet 16 of having a YouTube channel or, account, let's say. I started 16 years ago. June is going to be my sweet 16. So I've been on here a long time, so this is not my first video. So if you want to get to know more about who Coach Sherri is, you absolutely can check out the hundreds, maybe thousands, I don't know, but all of the content that I have on my channel. Thank you so much, Slasher Chick. Thank you. All right, so let's get into this information that I want to share with you. So, procrastination can really limit you not only in your professional life but also your personal life. You know, sometimes you put things off. You put off calling loved ones, you put off going on vacation, you put off responding to a friend or even a child. You know, it could be, or your spouse, your partner, when they are reaching out to you and saying that they need your assistance. Sometimes you can procrastinate. You just going to wait till that next commercial comes on, or when your show goes off, or, you know, you always are putting it off, putting it off. But it's really important to overcome your procrastination in order to really move forward and to stay motivated in the things that you're doing. I know for me, sometimes if I find myself procrastinating, I have to ask myself about that particular thing. Is it something that I really want to do? You know, keeping it real. And if it's not, guess what? I'm still going to do it to the best of my ability, and I may not renew it. I may not do it again, but as long as I'm in it, I am definitely going to do it to the best of my ability. And so motivating yourself through the procrastination, beyond the procrastination, requires a multifaceted approach that addresses your emotional and practical aspects. And so I want to give you some really effective strategies on doing this. All right. So let me get my images up. The first is the root cause, and you want to identify the root cause of why are you procrastinating, what's really going on. And just like I said, I do have my moments of procrastination, and I have to ask myself, am I just that busy, or do I not really care about what it is that I'm doing? And if I don't care about it, again, I am still going to finish it out to the best of my ability until the end. And then when the end comes, that's when I'll make the decision. Do I renew this? Do I sign up again, you know, or not? It's like being on a board of directors. I'm on a particular board, and, you know, the meetings are once a month. They're in person typically. And, you know, I really, I procrastinate when I go to those meetings. They actually scheduled them a little bit later just so that I could attend. And it's like I know my renewal to be on this board is coming up. So I'm asking myself, you know, what are the benefits? Is this helping me or hurting me? Is this a asset or a liability in my life at this point? Because I need to understand, do I need to renew to be on the board, or do I need to, you know, bow out gracefully? I'm kind of leaning towards bowing out gracefully. But in the meantime, I am doing my best. I am a contributor, which is why they always are either holding the meetings for me, or they definitely change the time so I could be there, but they definitely are accommodating to my schedule. And I do appreciate them for that. And I am learning a lot with different systems and methods of doing things. And this is an educational board of directors. So I'm learning a lot from them as much as I am a contributor. So you want to identify the root causes, because procrastination often stems from negative emotions like fear, anxiety, or it could just be your lack of motivation. So when you understand that, the drivers and the key, it will be the key for you to address them properly. So your procrastination over one thing or another is never the same as someone else's. You may discuss it, you and that person may say, oh, I don't like going either, I don't like doing that, but what is your real reason? And you have to keep it real with yourself of what your root cause is for that procrastination, so that you can be motivated beyond that. All right, the next one is small steps. So I always say baby steps count too. And so you want to break the tasks into smaller steps. Sometimes we take too big of a piece and it just becomes overwhelming. But if you break each of those things into smaller steps, then it can be more attainable. You can digest it better. Daunting tasks can feel overwhelming, leading to procrastination. So, again, you want to break them down into manageable chunks to make progress feel more achievable. You'll start to see that you'll have accomplished more things when you break them down into smaller steps. You know, as you can see, big journeys begin with small steps. You can't get to the end of this road by taking one leap. No, you have to take many steps to get to the end, and each step counts. That's why baby steps count too. The next is set specific and achievable goals. You know, you have to consider your talent, your skills, and your abilities. Can you actually do that particular goal that you have set up? Or do you need some more resources? You might need more training, more support. You may need to delegate some things. Having clear objectives and a plan can increase motivation and help track your progress. Celebrate your small wins along the way. And so you want to definitely track your progress. I know Slasher Chick on her channel, and I highly recommend you check her out. She always shares great resources and platforms that you can use to help you track progress in many different areas in your personal and professional life. I highly recommend you check them out and see which one could maybe that you can implement and help you to be motivated beyond procrastination, because that's the name of it. It's to be very specific. When you are vague and you're just kind of like, I want to do this. Oh, I think I need to do that. Or yeah, I have a few things on my plate. Well, what are those few things? You want to be very specific. I always say it's important to write out your list of things that you have to do, but then also capture those things and have that done list so that you don't think that you were just wasting time all day or all week or all month. You can look back and actually see the things that you accomplished. And I see Boondocking with Boomer is saying, well, I don't know who Chris is. So, I think you might be in the wrong live, but I appreciate you for tuning in. Thank you. All right. So, again, you want to be specific, set specific and achievable goals. And the next is you want to, let's see, create a conducive environment. You want to make sure that wherever you are brainstorming, where you're doing those deep dives, those think tank sessions, where you are pulling up your sleeves and going elbow deep to get into the woods or the weeds of what you're doing, you want to make sure that that environment is sufficient, is conducive to what you have to do. There's enough space. You have an area for all of the technology that you're going to be using, that you're not always disturbed. You definitely want to eliminate distractions and find it could be a quiet space, or if you like to have music, some people are very progressive and they really get great ideas when they have music playing. So, it doesn't always have to be quiet, and surround yourself with reminders of past successes to also boost your confidence. So have some sticky notes and, things that you've done, projects that you've accomplished, and write them down and post them up so that you can see them. So if you are feeling like, ooh, I don't know if I can do this. I need something to help me be more motivated to do this project. You can look back at that project and say, wow, but that was a really hard project too, and I was able to successfully complete it. Or it might have been a moment, a game that you played in, or an event that you planned. Whatever it is, make sure that you have those reminders set up. Um, you know, a lot of people are working from home. If you are one of those people, which many people are, make sure that you are productive at home too. If you're finding that you're distracted with being at home, being that close to your kitchen, people in your inner circle, your family and friends having that much more access to you, where they're calling you or stopping by, or you're like, oh, you know what, let me check up on such and such. That those are distractors that are not making you productive. They're actually helping you with your procrastination. So if going into the office is going to help you stay motivated to go beyond procrastination, then you may need to go into the office more often. I know for me, when I'm home, I can procrastinate. And so I do better. I'm more productive at home. So for yourself, figure out, where are you most productive? Are you more productive at home? Or are you more productive, in the office? All right. You're not procrastinating on meal prep. Okay, that's good. I'm glad that you're doing meal prep. Yes. All right. Thank you for being here again. So, you definitely want to make sure that you have that conducive work environment. And again, some people have taken advantage in a negative way with working from home. They're not really completing tasks. They're not able to really engage in the work that needs to be done because they are at home. They're not as high touch. Some environments, some working environments, they require that because things change on the fly. And so sometimes it's good to be able to collaborate in person, or just, knowing that the person is not as distracted, because they're doing what they need to do for those 8 hours. All right, let's look at the next one, which is don't give up. So you definitely want to practice your motivation loop, and you want to leverage that by starting a task, even reluctantly. It can trigger motivation through small wins and progress. So you want to try to really hold on to those feelings of accomplishment and use those as fuel for further action. And that's why I always say, have a done list. Have your to-do list, but have that done list. Don't just scratch out or erase or whatever, delete the things that you've completed. You want to look back and see all the things that you've accomplished, so your motivation can continue to go, because okay, I've done it once, I can do it again. That's what a transferable skill is too, and that's what employers look for. What are some of the things that you've done before, because I know you can do them again. But if you don't remember those things that you've done before, then you won't be as motivated to do them again, because you've forgotten. That's why when a team wins, yeah, it's a big deal. And when the going gets tough, they always remember that game when we did it like this. Remember that game when everyone doubted us and we came out winners. So, remembering those moments is going to be really important when you are trying to motivate beyond procrastination. The next is to practice self compassion. You must motivate yourself with love and self respect rather than criticism or negative self talk. A positive mindset is very crucial for overcoming procrastination. So if you're in your head beating yourself up, talking about what you can't do, oh, here we go again, oh, this has been my story, you want to definitely change that narrative. It's enough people out here, naysayers, that maybe don't believe in you, are questioning you, wondering how you got where you're at. But you cannot do that to yourself. And literally, what it is changing your mindset, shifting it to be more positive. So, because you matter, you want to also be the lead character in your story. So, you want to boost that person up, boost yourself up. I know in a lot of areas in life, depending on what your occupation is, you may be someone that's boosting other people up. You might be a coach, a counselor, a therapist. You might be a team leader, a manager, a supervisor, where you're boosting other people up. But you matter too. And so you have to boost yourself up and practice self compassion. We always practice compassion towards others, giving other people grace, but we have to give ourselves that as well. So, again, a positive mindset is crucial for overcoming procrastination. So you definitely want to meditate. You want to practice some deep thinking and just affirmations. Again, you can write them down on sticky notes or put them on your vision board. Put it on your screensaver on your phone. So when you ever look down at your phone initially, you're seeing something that's positive, that's affirmative for where you want to be, and where you're trying to go and accomplish. All right. The next is accountability. So you also want to use accountability. You want to work with a friend or a colleague, or join a particular group, or use productivity apps to stay on track. And again, Slasher Chick definitely is that channel that will share with you, and has shared in her previous videos on different productivity apps and tracks, platforms that you can use. External accountability can provide the necessary push. Now, I've had a weekly accountability group, and they all have particular goals that they're trying to achieve, some personal, some professional. we don't really get into the goals more than we get into things that can help us motivate for that upcoming week. Now, I look at accountability as I'm being accountable for my actions. My partner or my group is there because they know that I'm trying to be accountable. And it's not about me revisiting what I'm being accountable for. We'll set it up every quarter. What is it that you want to be, what are your goals for this quarter? We say it that once and we leave it right there, because you have to take the action. The people in the group, your partner cannot do it for you. Your accountability partner, your accountability group should not be about pointing the finger at you, trying to tell you how you should do it, what you should do, what you're doing wrong, or whatever. They're going to be there to celebrate your wins, absolutely, but they are not there to really push you forward. You have to take those steps yourself. Just like you're not in those groups to point the finger at them, because you all are just there in a space to be encouraging to one another, because it's up to you. You are the responsible one to get what you need done. No one cannot procrastinate for you. You only can do that. So an accountability group or partner will encourage you to motivate beyond procrastination. So even going to those sessions, if you have a friend that say is your accountability partner, make sure you put it on your calendar. When are you going to have those one-on-ones with that friend? Make it intentional. Don't just make it loosey goosey where it's like, oh, I'll try and call you later. Anything with the word try is so loose to me. That word try is really challenging. It's a lot of times it doesn't always happen. So you definitely want to make it intentional. Set a date, set a time, and make it reoccurring. The same date and time each week. It could be a Monday morning, a Sunday night, a Wednesday afternoon, whatever the case may be. If you have a whole group, you also want to have a specific time and date that can possibly work for everyone. But because it is a group, you don't stop it because one or two people can't make it for a particular day. Make that a priority and determine, is it going to be every week, once a month, every 2 weeks, once a quarter? How often is it? I feel with this challenge, this going live for 90 days, every day challenge, um, I definitely feel like Slasher Chick has been my accountability partner. We don't speak off of YouTube. However, we do support each other's lives. And, I'm going live because I know that she is. So I've been holding on for 57 days just to not drop my end of the stick for myself, though, as well. And that's a good thing to have someone. That's more of an encouragement. So to have someone to encourage you to keep going, because they're counting on you just like you're counting on them. And I kind of feel like she feels the same for sure. Let's see. And so this Slasher Chick is saying, as Yoda says, there is no try, only do. Yes, only do. I'm telling you, when people on my team or in my circle, they talk about what they're gonna try, I'm already clocking out, thinking, well, that's not gonna happen. So yeah, they only going to do for sure. All right. And the last is identifying your why. Connect your task to a deeper sense of purpose or meaning to increase motivation. Remind yourself of the benefits of completing the work. So, even with this challenge, this is something that I have to continuously motivate myself beyond procrastination. And my why is, I wanted to do something that took me off balance, that made me uncomfortable, something that I was not accustomed to doing. I absolutely was not accustomed to going live every single day. Yes, I've gone live before. Going live was not a thing. I've been going live since 2020, literally. So going live was not the challenge. The challenge was going live every day. And now that part of the challenge is, determining what the topic is going to be, carving out time in my day to make sure that I do it. Those are things that are challenging, but I'm working through it. I'm getting better. I'm building that muscle memory, as Slasher Chick says, my YouTube muscle memory. Also, my why is I wanted to do something impactful that would kind of jumpstart my channel going into my Sweet 16. Do something that was kind of dramatic because I actually started this challenge as a 30-day, then I increased it to 60 days, and then I increased it yet again to what it is now, 90 days. And I want to see, what is this going to do? What is going to be the impact? And so there are some people in my circle that know that I'm doing this, and I'm sure either listening in but are unable to get to the chat to say hello, but also on replays. I probably have some people in my inner circle that are tuned in, and sometimes if they do communicate with me outside of YouTube, they'll say, "I can't, you still doing that thing, going live?" And I'm like, yeah, it's for 90 days. I'm on day 50, whatever. And they're always surprised, but there's really hasn't been much in my life that I've done that I like dropped the ball. I mean, there's some things for sure, but something like this, I mean, I'm on the World Wide Web at this point, international, and I've put this out there that I'm going to go live for 90 days. So I'm going to stick with it, and that's part of my why is I'm just going to have stick to itness with this. I'm going to see how it's going to grow. It's to celebrate going into my Sweet 16 and to build up my YouTube muscle memory. So whatever you're doing personally or professionally, consider what your why is. Is it to, make extra money? Is it to be gainfully employed if you have a new position? Is it to be that role model for the young people in your family, for them to see you doing something great? Is it, what is your why? What is your why? So whenever you feel like quitting, think about why you started. Another reason why I started my YouTube channel, and this is, motivate beyond procrastination, because even though I didn't go live every day, I definitely tried to put out content at least every week. And my YouTube channel is part of my legacy. It's the information that I'm sharing that my future's future will be able to look at years from now when I'm long gone. And I know that my content is evergreen, so it will always be relevant. And so they will be able to get great information, hearing it from my voice, of things that might be helping them get through a challenging situation that they will find themselves in. I mean, as life goes on, there's ebbs and flows, there's peaks and valleys. And when they're in those valleys and when they're in those peaks, I want them to look back at this content. And it's not just for my future's future, it's for the world. And that's what YouTube, that's the type of platform it is. It's that, that platform that keeps on giving. So it's a way to really secure your content and have it out there for others to glean from, to catch a nugget or two from. All right. You send telepathy? Yes. I like that for sure. All right. So let's look at I think that's it, y'all. Wow. Okay. So I really appreciate it. And yeah, I send it too. Telepathy to you too, because it's like, all right, you got it, Slasher Chick. We all have it. It's just a matter of putting that one foot in front of the other and going for it. And so you want to motivate yourself beyond procrastination. This podcast was just a few tips for you, but you have to not just hear it, not just write it down. And I hope you did have your pen and paper to write it down, but I also hope that you take it and put it into action. Some of the tips you may already be doing, some you aren't, but how are you going to incorporate that into your life so that you can motivate yourself beyond procrastination? At this point, especially as a grown up, unless you have a coach or a counselor or a therapist, you have to figure out ways to motivate yourself. Even with a coach, a counselor, or a therapist, you still have to do the work on your own. So they can only give you what they can within that hour session. But on a daily basis, you have to say things to yourself. You have to move in a certain way that's going to continuously motivate you. You are responsible for yourself. No one can do it for you but you. And that is for sure. Remember, you want to just be that lead character in your life. There's going to be many characters in your life that come and go, but you want to be that lead character. All right, everyone, this is what I do, and it has been my pleasure sharing it with you. I am Coach Sherri.